Denzel Washington made it clear that he does not care about Ryan Reynolds. He said that if he wanted to, he could easily make Ryan feel nervous or uncomfortable. Denzel joked about how he could mess with Ryan, make him act in a certain way, or just throw him off balance. Ryan, however, is really embarrassed by all of this. He cannot believe that Denzel not only said he is not a fan of him, but also talked about how he could control him and keep him on edge. Ryan feels super awkward about the whole situation. Denzel Washington made it very clear that he was not there to teach Ryan Reynolds. In fact, he directly said that he would never work with Ryan because, believe it or not, he thinks Ryan is a bad actor. Just imagine how it feels when someone you admire tells you that they do not think you are good at your job and act like they would rather quit than spend even a moment working with you. That must be really shocking and embarrassing for Ryan, especially because everyone in the industry looks up to Denzel. With all the drama going on with It Ends With Us, the last thing Ryan needs is someone like Denzel making things even harder for him. When a big name like Denzel Washington tells the world that Ryan Reynolds is just not that great, it has to sting. And the worst part is, Denzel is not the only one who feels this way. So, is Ryan losing his place in the industry? Why are so many celebrities suddenly speaking out about him? Have they secretly disliked him all this time and are only now speaking up? Let's try to understand what is going on. Ryan Reynolds is known for being charming, funny, and full of personality. In Hollywood, he is one of the actors people can always count on to bring in an audience whenever he is in a movie or TV show. He has a special kind of appeal that draws people in. But now, things seem to be changing. With how successful the Deadpool movies have been, you would think someone like Ryan Reynolds would be very confident. He is famous and has done well in his career. And with the nice guy image he shows on screen, you might believe he would be a kind person in real life. But it turns out, he is actually very different from what people expect. While some actors, producers, and others in the industry may feel like they have to put up with Ryan's bad attitude, there are others who just cannot deal with it. One person who has never hidden his dislike for Ryan Reynolds' attitude is Denzel Washington. The tension between Ryan and Denzel started back in 2012 when they were promoting Safe House. While Ryan was excited and talking about how amazing it was to work with his idol, Denzel, it was clear that Denzel did not feel the same way. Ryan was acting like a big fan, getting excited about doing stunts with Denzel. You could see that Denzel was Ryan's hero. Ryan even said, "When you find out you are working with someone like Ben Kingsley or Denzel Washington, does it change how you approach it?" He went on to describe Denzel, saying, "Denzel is different. I have never seen energy like that before. He can take control of every inch of a room with just a blink, and then, just like that, he can disappear." Even though Ryan looked up to Denzel so much, it was clear that Denzel did not feel the same excitement about working with Ryan. When Denzel wants to put someone in their place, he does it without holding back. In fact, Denzel even got a black eye from Ryan while they were filming a fight scene for the movie. Denzel said it was the first time he had ever gotten a black eye. He joked that Ryan gave him the black eye as a parting gift after their scene. It is hard to understand how Ryan thought Denzel would be on good terms with him after something like that. But it was not until Denzel appeared on the Jonathan Ross show that he finally decided to share his real opinion about Ryan's acting. And trust me, he did not hold back at all. When asked about Ryan, Denzel made sure to speak his mind and tell the truth about how he felt. Denzel can deliver really harsh lines without showing any emotion, and it seems like no one saw it coming. Just look at the shocked faces of Tom Hardy and Keira Knightley. You might think it is just Denzel's dry humor if this happened only once, but it did not. When you see how many times Denzel has openly called out Ryan, you might start to think that Denzel really does not like him. In another interview, the host asked Denzel about working with Ryan, and Denzel could hardly hide how he felt. He made it clear that he did not exactly enjoy working with Ryan. Denzel did not even bother with the usual Hollywood cliches. A simple, "Oh, he is a nice guy, a good actor," would have worked, but instead, Denzel just sat there in awkward silence, clearly hoping the interviewer would understand and change the topic. Honestly, it would be funny if it were not so uncomfortable. We all know that actors are trained to give polite, empty compliments. If they do not like their co-star, no problem. They just pick a few lines from the Hollywood playbook of fake praise. But Denzel did not take the easy way out. The thing with Denzel is that if he does not like you, you will know. But if he does like you, he will praise you like no one else. We have all seen the way he acts with his true friends in the industry, like Viola Davis and Chadwick Boseman. When Denzel works with someone, you can tell that he at least respects them, even if he does not always like them. But with Ryan, it is hard to know if Denzel likes him or respects him at all. There seems to be nothing there. You might think it is because their personalities do not match. Ryan is relaxed and goofy, while Denzel is serious and intense. But it is more than just that. In fact, there are other big names in the industry who have also shown how they really feel about Ryan. And believe me, it is not all good. It is not all perfect for Ryan, though. He has worked on some very successful projects over the years. Everyone loves Deadpool, the sarcasm, the humor, the action, and the drama. What is not to love? Plus, Ryan is a big moneymaker. He makes a lot of money, not just from the movies, but also from his other businesses like Mint Mobile, Aviation Gin, and even a soccer team. He is busy and successful, no doubt about that. But the real question is, does Hollywood respect Ryan? The answer might surprise you. If you ask many people in Hollywood, they might have a very different opinion. Good, but it must be engaged and used very simple and easy language from start to end. Make sure use very simple wording. Also make sure do not use short words like was did. Instead it use full words. Well, good for him for making so much money, but those movies do not really have much impact. It is almost like they do not even exist. Ouch! Now, speaking of people who do not respect Ryan Reynolds' career, we need to talk about the harsh comment Gerard Butler once made about him during an interview. Here is what happened. The interviewer asked Gerard to the first Deadpool movie was a huge success, and everyone thought the second one would be even bigger and better. But to everyone's surprise, Tim Miller decided to leave the project right in the middle of making it. And of course, the reason behind this all comes back to Ryan Reynolds. Apparently, Ryan was getting too involved in the creative decisions. As the star of the movie, it made sense for him to have some control, but Ryan did not just want some control, he wanted to take over everything, pushing Tim Miller to the background. It became clear that Ryan wanted to be in charge of the entire franchise. Tim Miller later said, "You can work that way as a director, and it can be successful, but I cannot. I do not mind having a debate, but if I cannot win, I do not want to play. I do not think you can make decisions about every single creative choice. There are just too many to make." According to reports, Tim and Ryan had such big disagreements that at one point, Tim thought, "This is not worth it," and decided to leave the project. This situation sounds very similar to what is happening between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni right now. From the start, it was clear that Blake wanted to take control. If you read the text messages in the lawsuits, you can see that Justin tried his best to go along with her ideas, even when she clearly crossed some boundaries. He even started by saying, "I want to apologize, man. When I read the second part of your message, my heart sank. I am really sorry. I know I did not do enough, and you worked very hard on that. The way you explained it and how it made you feel really affected me. I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me. It takes a lot of trust and being open, and I feel really thankful that you feel comfortable enough to tell me how you feel. I am truly sorry for letting you down. That is my mistake. One thing you should know about me. One thing I will always do is admit when I make a mistake and apologize for it. I am far from perfect. I am a very flawed man, as my wife can confirm. I know I will make mistakes, and I know I will say the wrong thing sometimes. But think about it. How many directors would accept it if their lead actress started changing the movie script without their permission and then tried to make them accept those changes? And it was not just small changes here and there. Blake was actually rewriting some of the most important parts of the movie. Do you remember the iconic rooftop scene? Blake apparently rewrote the entire rooftop scene without talking to Justin about it. And if that was not bad enough, she also let Ryan and her best friend, Taylor Swift, get involved in the movie. To make things even worse, Blake played the "I am more famous, richer, and have powerful people on my side" card. Honestly, She needs to be more real about this situation. It Ends With Us was supposed to be the movie that brought Blake back into the spotlight. It was meant to be her big moment. But all the bad press ended up taking the focus away from everything good about the movie. The movie from day one. Let's start with the casting. When it was announced that Blake was going to be the lead, female fans of the book were not happy. Lily Bloom was supposed to be a fresh-faced 20-some who just graduated college. Fans were a bit confused as to how Blake was going to work for the role. Like, no shade to Blake, but she wasn't exactly giving Lil Bloom. Besides, there were many other actresses who would play the role well and actually look the part, but things got really messy when on set. Photos. As soon as the photos started appearing online, people immediately noticed the orange wig, and they were not happy about it. The wig was so bad that it went viral on Twitter. Some people even joked that Blake looked like a cheap version of the Wendy's mascot. But things did not stop there. During the press tour, Blake made sure to stay in the spotlight. At one point, it seemed like she and Justin were doing separate press tours. While Justin talked about the movie, Blake focused more on talking about other things, like her hair. Blake seemed to be more focused on promoting her skincare line and her alcohol brand, which really had nothing to do with a movie about domestic violence. Honestly, some of the interviews were very uncomfortable to watch because Blake kept saying things that did not make sense. When we meet a celebrity in public, we only have a few moments to talk, but for people who watch this movie and connect with the topics in a personal way, they will want to talk to you about it. This movie will have a big impact on people, and they will want to share how it made them feel. People who understand the themes of the movie might want to share their personal stories with you. So, if someone meets you in public and wants to talk about it, how would you suggest they approach you? Blake's response, asking if they should ask for her address or phone number, made things even more awkward. You could clearly see the frustration on Brandon Slenner's face. When asked what it was like working with Blake, he struggled to say anything positive. All he could say was that he just wanted people to remember why the movie was made and what it represents. The tension was very uncomfortable, and you could sense that something went wrong behind the scenes to make him feel so awkward. Things only got worse from there. At the movie premiere, Blake made sure all the attention was on her, while Justin had to watch from the sidelines. Then, she said something like, "Grab your friends, wear your florals, and go see it." It felt like she was promoting a fun, light movie, not one about such serious topics like domestic violence. But if you thought Ryan was the only one facing the heat, think again. The industry is turning on Blake too. She used to be seen as a fashion icon, and the press loved her, but now it seems like people are not paying attention to her as much. Even that strange moment with Ryan at SNL's 50th anniversary didn't help. When Ryan greeted people, it just felt awkward, and the celebrities there did not find it funny. After the event, rumors spread that many big names in Hollywood were starting to distance themselves from both Ryan and Blake. It seems like the strong influence they once had is fading. But do you think this could have anything to do with the It Ends With Us drama, or is it something else?